Islam, the balance between personal belief and a state's requirements. Islam, as a religion, has two major dimensions: its socio-religious identity and its political-economic features. These two sides are often discussed together, but they are different in nature and function. The socio-religious side focuses on faith, worship, community life, and moral values. The political-economic side deals with governance, law, economy, and power. Understanding both helps us see Islam not just as a religion, but also as a system that has shaped societies for centuries. At its heart, Islam is a faith centered on the belief in one God, Allah, and the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. Its socio-religious identity is built on 5 pillars: declaration of faith, prayer, fasting during Ramadan, giving to the poor, zakat, and pilgrimage to Mecca, Hajj. These practices create a strong sense of community and shared identity among Muslims. Mosques, religious schools, madrasas, and family life are key places where Islamic values are taught and lived. This side of Islam promotes justice, compassion, humility, and service to others. It emphasizes personal responsibility and spiritual growth. However, throughout history, Islam has also played a major role in politics and economics. After the death of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Muslim leaders, caliphs, began building a large empire. This empire needed laws, taxes, trade systems, and armies, so Islam became tied to political power. Islamic law, or Sharia, was developed to guide not only religious life but also government, business, and criminal justice. In this way, religion and state were often linked in Muslim societies. One of the key political economic features of Islam is the concept of Sharia. While many see Sharia as a spiritual guide, it also includes rules about contracts, inheritance, taxation, and crime. In some Muslim-majority countries, Sharia influences national laws, especially in areas like family law. However, the application of Sharia varies widely. In Saudi Arabia, it forms the basis of the legal system. In Turkey or Indonesia, it plays a smaller role. This shows that Islam does not have one fixed political system. It has been adapted in different ways depending on time and place. Another important economic feature is zakat, the practice of giving a portion of one's wealth to the poor. This is not just charity, it is a religious duty. In theory, zakat helps reduce inequality and supports social welfare. But in practice, its collection and distribution depends on the government or religious institutions. In some countries, zakat is organized by the state and used for public services. In others, it is managed by local groups. The effectiveness of zakat as a tool for economic justice depends on transparency and good governance. Islamic finance is another example of the religion's economic influence. It bans interest, riba, so Muslim banks use alternative models like profit sharing or leasing. This system aims to make finance more ethical and fair. While Islamic banking has grown globally, critics argue that it sometimes mimics conventional banking through complex deals that may still involve hidden interest. This raises questions about whether Islamic finance truly fulfills its moral goals or simply adapts to global capitalism. Historically, Muslim empires like the Umayyads, Abbasis, and Ottomans combined religious authority with political rule. The caliph was both a religious and political leader. This model created strong, centralized states but also led to conflicts over leadership and power. Over time, colonial rule weakened these empires, and after independence, many Muslim countries adopted secular governments. Yet, the idea of an Islamic state remains powerful. Groups like the Muslim Brotherhood or political parties in Pakistan, Iran, and Malaysia seek to make laws more Islamic. Iran, for example, is a theocracy where religious leaders have final authority over the government. Critics point out several problems with mixing religion and politics. First, it can lead to authoritarianism. When rulers claim religious legitimacy, it becomes hard to challenge them. Second, there is no single interpretation of Islamic law. Different scholars and schools of thought disagree on what Sharia should include. This can cause division and conflict. Third, in modern democracies, citizens of different faiths or no faith must be treated equally. A state based only on Islamic law may not protect the rights of non-Muslims. Moreover, economic policies in some Muslim-majority countries have not always followed Islamic ideals of justice. Many suffer from corruption, inequality, and dependence on oil. While Islam promotes fair trade and care for the poor, real-world economies often fall short. Religious rhetoric is sometimes used to justify policies that benefit the rich or powerful. In conclusion, Islam's socio-religious identity is about faith, morality, and community. It brings people together through shared beliefs and practices. But its political economic features show how a religion interacts with power, law, and money. These features have helped build civilizations, but they also raise tough questions in the modern world. While Islamic values call for justice, equality, and care for the weak, their political and economic applications have been mixed. The challenge today is to honor Islam's ethical teachings while building fair, inclusive, and democratic societies that work for all people, Muslim and non-Muslim alike. Here there is small misunderstanding about Islam's view of non-Muslims in an Islamic country. In a truly Islamic country, the non-Muslims are not only equal in many sense, but are also privileged and protected, where they are differentiated to only protect them and save many other religious hardships endowed on the religious Muslims. So, in pure Islamic state, the non-Muslims are designated as jimmis, protected. But, I agree, this concept is to be discussed in more detail by the Muslim scholars and thinkers, so that a non-Muslim status in an Islamic state can be properly and univocally established. So, in final count, Islam is not confined to belief and ritual. It is also a complete way of life with a strong political structure. The Quran and Sunnah provide guiding principles not only for prayer and worship but also for justice, governance, and social order. Islam establishes the idea of sovereignty of God, meaning that laws are rooted in divine guidance rather than human whims. This forms the foundation of political authority. The concept of shura, consultation, ensures participatory governance, where leaders must consult the community in matters of policy. This anticipates the modern idea of collective decision-making. Islam also lays down rules of accountability. Leaders are answerable before God and the people. No ruler is above the law, reflecting the principle of equality before justice. Economic fairness, protection of minorities, and welfare of the poor are built into the Islamic political framework. Through zakat and fair distribution of wealth, the state ensures social balance. Islam rejects tyranny and exploitation, insisting on the dignity of every individual. Thus, Islam is not merely a spiritual code. It builds an ethical political order, integrating faith with justice, welfare, and governance, ensuring both moral strength and practical stability for society.